Assalamu alaikum, dear students. This is your teacher Ummara Shaheen. I hope and pray that all of you are fine. Dear students, today we will learn about a new topic, which is pupil reflex. But before going into the details of today's topic, let's have a quick recap of our previous topic, which was that how the images form if we're looking at a close object or a distant object. So when we are looking at a close object like reading a book, like drawing, what happens that the ciliary muscles will contract, the suspensor ligament will relax, and lens will become thick or more convex. As a result, the image is focused onto the retina. And for close object, I gave you a hint as well, that was C, C and C. First C was for close, second was for ciliary, and third was for contract. It means that when we are looking at a close object, ciliary muscle will contract. Now in comparison with the distant object, when we are looking at the distant object, it is opposite to that of close object. Ciliary muscle will relax, suspensor ligament will be tight, and lens will become thin. As a result, light will be able to focus onto the retina and images formed. So this is how the image is formed when we are looking at close object or distant object. Now moving on to today's topic, which is pupil reflex. Let's go to the learning outcome. The learning outcome says that describe the pupil reflex in response to bright and dim light. Now first, before going into the pupil reflex detail, first we will see about the muscles of iris. Iris is the colored part of the eye. The black region over here is called pupil. In fact, it is transparent, and as it is transparent, the dark color over here is of choroid. So through pupil we are directly looking at the choroid. The pupil is actually controls the amount of light which enters into your eye, and as a result of that light the image is formed. So the size of the pupil is adjusted with the help of two muscles of the iris. The one is the circular muscle, the other one is radial muscle. So now moving on to the next slide, which is the bright light. How we will be able to see in the bright light. How we will be able to see in the bright light. Now before going into the technical details, let's first understand that if we enter into the area where there is a very bright light, though eye bleaching occurs. So in order to prevent the eye bleaching, in order to protect the eye, there should be the less amount of light entering your eyes. So the amount of the light which enters in your light, it is controlled with the help of the pupil, the size of the pupil. So the size of pupil, it needs to be adjusted. How the size of the pupil is adjusted? It is adjusted with the help of these circular and radial muscles of the iris. So if we are looking the objects in the bright light conditions, then the circular muscles of the iris will contract. These over here, these will contract. The radial muscles will relax. As a result, the size of the pupil will be reduced. The size of the pupil will be constricted. Okay, once the size of the pupil is constricted, it means less light will be able to enter the eye, and the eye will be protected, and image is formed onto the retina. So in order to remember that, there is another hint for the bright light. The C, the circular muscle will contract and the radial muscle will relax. As a result, the size of the pupil is adjusted. It is decreased, constricted, so that less light can pass through the cornea and a focus image is formed onto the retina. Now this is opposite with the dim light conditions. If we are working in the dim light, it means more light should be able to enter into the eye through the cornea, and in order to enter more light, the size of the pupil should be increased. The pupil should be wider, the pupil should be dilated. So in order to increase the size of the pupil, the radial muscle will contract. Once the radial muscle will contract, the circular muscle will relax. As a result, the pupil is dilated, which means the more light can pass through the pupil and you will be able to see in the dim light. Let's understand this with another example. So this is the case of bright light, and this here we have the case of dim light. Here you can see when you compare the size of the pupil, you can see that in case of bright light conditions, the size of the pupil is decreased so that less light can enter and a focused image is formed, while in case of dim light, the size of the pupil is increased so that more light can enter. Okay, and if more light will be able to enter, so as a result of pupil dilation, more light will be able to enter and a focused image is formed. So this is how you will be able to see in bright and dim light. Now I'm going to connect this topic to our next topic as well. Our next topic, we will be learning about hormones, and there is a hormone named adrenaline. The effect of adrenaline is same as that of the dim light. Okay, in case of adrenaline, the pupils are dilated, and in this chapter it is enough that you learn that the effect of adrenaline is the dilation of the pupil, and about the details of adrenaline we will learn in our next topic. So beta, this is all from today's lesson. Go through the video, understand the concept, and then solve the assignment. And thank you beta, best of luck. Allah Hafiz.